What's up, guys? It's been a while. Now, I know, the title. It's a little, right? It's a little clickbaity. But the truth is, I'm making this video because I care, right? So I know a lot of people right off the rip are going to get the impression, oh, this guy hates Fab. Oh, he's just a, you're going to assume a lot of things, right? But just realize again, the only reason I'm doing this is because I care. It's because I care and I enjoy it and I love Fab and I want to talk about it. So, last week, today's Friday, last week I went to CollectCon in Kansas City. Now, I wasn't expecting there to be really a huge Fab presence. There wasn't last year. I wasn't expecting any Fab presence really, but maybe at least one or two. I would at least see one or two booths with a box, a pre-con, singles, anything, literally anything. PCG? Nothing. And at first I was like, okay, that's all right. I had some binders with me, and I had a binder that had some Fab cards in it, and I went to every booth that had a sign that said buying anything. I'll buy anything. I don't care. I'll buy it. They were buying garbage pail kid card, the most random junk sports cards. These people were buying anything. They didn't want to touch. They didn't even want to look at. Half of them didn't even know what Flesh and Blood was, right? And I'm talking the people that bought and knew who it was. They were just like, nah, dude, nah, no thanks, bro. And this wasn't junk, right? These were cards that were anywhere from $30, $40 to $100, $150 card, right? They're not like crazy high end. They're not bulk. It's that kind of good mid flipping playable cards, right? So then I'll go, okay, all right, this is a little interesting. So then I start going to the really big booths that are basically the LGSs, right? That have their own booths. And I start kind of talking with some of the head guy, the owners and whatnot. And I go, I'm like, man, tell me about why, because this is, I don't want to name names, but this is a store that will literally sell anything. And they're big. And I was like, bro, why don't you guys touch Fab anymore? Do you not even have a player base that comes in? Because they have a huge playing section at their actual physical locations. And I was like, you guys not have anyone who comes in and plays it or anything? And he was like, no, no one plays it. And he basically broke down to me. I had kind of heard stuff. Sorry, I got stuff in my eye. I had heard stuff, through the grapevine, but essentially he explained to me the whole situation with the map pricing and how, LSS had forced LGSs to essentially sell at, you couldn't sell below a certain price, right? And that essentially screwed over a bunch of LGSs when the product collapsed, because you had a bunch of people selling online at whatever prices they wanted. And I guess I didn't realize how, and again, I don't know everybody, right? I don't know, but the good amount of people, basically every person I talked to that was willing or had something to say about it, essentially it came down to they were pissed off at LSS and wanted nothing to do with them anymore. And they had just, again, I don't know, right? And these are big stores that have been around for 20, 30 years. So I guess I didn't realize how angry the LGS owner community, or just the LGS community, whatever, was at Fab. Now again, I'm just reporting what was told to me. These aren't my opinions. I don't know. This is somebody, again, who I love the game play of Fab. I've never been to an LGS to play Fab. I'm not that guy. I don't go to LGSs, but I love cards. I love collecting. And this is something too that I should have kind of put together. Every high dollar Fab card I've ever sold has been through eBay International. I don't think I've ever sold a card over $100. No, I've definitely sold a few over $100. But most of my expensive cards that have been over $200-$300 for Fab they've all been sold. Now that I'm like kind of like putting this, almost all of them have been sold like to like Japan, Australia, and other countries. So what have I gathered from this? Oh, and by the way, if you're someone who's normally, I as you guys can tell, I've been gone. I've been streaming. I just enjoy streaming games now because this whole market's cooked now. So I haven't, like, I still collect and invest and all that stuff, but there's really no point in talking about it because it's just dumb money at this point. But if you have questions about any of this, well, I'm probably live right now streaming, so come chat with me. But again, this isn't for me to hate on Fab. This was more of an extreme not a wake up call, but it was like oh my gosh, I didn't realize maybe how how disliked, upset, frustrated, betrayed the TCG LGS community felt towards Fab. I just wasn't aware of that. I had heard things, and again, I know some guy's gonna type, "Oh, James is cool. The LS is super good." Blah 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 blah. Yeah, I'm sure like you've had a great experience, right? Like again, I love you have to be objective, right? You got to see both sides. You got to understand. You got to be able to put the picture together, and the picture's coming together for me. And again, what's the point of this? What is the point of this video? The point is, if you're a player of Fab, a collector of Fab, an investor of Fab in the US, what can you do? What can LSS do to grow the player base? That's my question. Have a good one, guys.